Well, greetings everybody. Welcome back to another video. And in front of you is, you can obviously tell if it's an iPhone 4 or a 4S in black. Let's see other cues here. You see there's no antenna lines, so I'm gonna know that it's either an iPhone 4 Verizon 2011 model or an iPhone 4S. But it does have this SIM card slot here, so that means it's an iPhone 4S. And it is running a pretty rare version of iOS. Not like the rarest, but still pretty rare, because you'll see in a sec, you'll know why. But let's hit the home button and see what we have. So we have the iPhone 4S here. You know it's a 4S, so the battery's almost dead. You do have Siri. And so a stock version of iOS 6 here. But the version is iOS 6.0.1 or 6.0.1, and it's a Verizon, so it's a CDMA version, but that only mattered with the iPhone 4. But 6.0.1, obviously it's a 4S because it's got Siri, although it does have a SIM card in it, I guess, because it says no service. So, so obviously the iPhone 4S shipped with iOS 5, right? So obviously, yeah, right. But I honestly think that an iPhone 4S on iOS 6.0.1 is a little bit more rare than like 5.1.1 or 5.0.1, because most 4Ss on iOS 6 are iOS 6.1.3. And that's because they can be downgraded. I've had a lot of 4Ss on iOS 6, and they've all been 6.1.3. But I finally found one. I finally went out of my way, I believe in January, to find one on 6.0.1. Like any version that's not iOS 6.1.3. Because I believe they've all been downgraded. So even though it doesn't matter because it's stock 6.1.3, because for whatever reason, Apple for the longest time signed 6.1.3 for the 4S for whatever reason. But I believe there is another way to get 6.1.3 completely stock downgraded from iOS 9, or iOS 8. So that's what's really cool. But I know this iPhone has not been downgraded, because you cannot downgrade a 4S to 6.0.1. It's like there were a lot of 4Ss on eBay, 8 gigabytes, 6.1.3. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, the 8 gigabyte iPhone 4S is shipped with iOS 7. They never shipped with iOS 6. The 8 gig 4S came out in 2013 alongside the 5C and 5S. So it's like if there's an 8 gigabyte iPhone 4S on iOS 6, that's a dead giveaway. I'm even surprised it's possible to downgrade a 8 gig 4S to iOS 6, despite shipping originally with, I believe, 7.0.2 or something like that, alongside the 5S. So originally shipped with 7.0.2. The 5C shipped with 7.0. Because I have one on 7.0. So, interesting. So that's why this is very unique, very rare, because it's on 6.0.1. You can't downgrade a 4S to 6.0.1, so that's how I know it's the version of iOS 6 that has not been downgraded. But you can to 6.0.3. So, pretty cool. These are rare, so it's really hard to find a 4S on iOS 6. A non-downgraded version of iOS 6. So, there you go. 4S 16 gig black. I label all my devices, all my iPhones and iPods. But iPads, I don't know why I don't label them. But just because they're easier to know and keep track of what iOS they're running. So, but since I'm massive collection of rare devices here. So, um, but yeah, peace out, everybody.